What's up, everyone? There was a question on my first video about gaining XP fast in Mortal Kombat 1's Season 7 Invasions with the God Wave Talisman. The question comes from Ellie. Are there any towers that work better than others? Well, that depends on how you want to play. There's a couple different methods about doing this, and I'm going to break them all down for you. You can break up the two methods in either the Seasonal Tower and all the other towers. Let's talk about the Seasonal Tower first, because that's going to give you your most XP every time. The Seasonal Tower gives you 4,000 XP, which breaks down to about 400 XP per fight. The only issue with the Seasonal Tower is it is the hardest tower to play, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get through it sometimes. Depending on what level you're on, because the Seasonal Tower starts at level 30 and goes all the way up to 100, I think, it gets a little harder every time. Now, not difficult, not impossible, but it's always a little harder, so the God Wave Talisman will be less and less effective with every level. The reason they're harder is because every level you go up, the fighters get a little bit more HP, plus the obstacles that they add to these fights, such as like the meteors falling, blood, fire, whatever, they get a little tougher too. Also, they vary how many of the fights are boss fights. Sometimes it's only one, sometimes it's half the fights are boss fights. I've even played it where about 8 of the fights were boss fights. You're going to go through your charges a little faster in those situations. At the end of the day, it gives you your most XP, so if you're willing to fight through a little bit, that will give you your most XP and max up your character a little faster. As far as all the other towers, these are your hourly, your daily, and your weekly towers. Now, these towers are easier to play through. They vary on the number of fights per tower from as low as 3 to as high as 11, and they vary on the amount of XP. At the lowest, you get about 750 XP for the 3-person fight, and the highest it goes for the 11-person fight is 1750. Those two break down to about 250, going up to about 160 per fight. So you actually get less XP the more fights you have to fight in these towers. So it doesn't quite make sense, but that's how it is. So even though they give you less XP, you go through them pretty quickly. They never get any harder. They're always about the same level. So you can breeze through these towers with the God Wave Talisman, and you'll complete the towers faster than you would with the Seasonal, but it's less XP. You'll have to do about almost twice as many fights as you would in the Seasonal, get the same amount of XP. So to summarize, the Seasonal Tower is going to give you your most XP, but it's going to be a tougher fight. All the other towers are going to give you less XP, but you can breeze through them pretty easily. Just depends on which route you want to go. Hope this answered your question, and look out for another video about upgrading the God Wave Talisman. It's an update to my first video after another comment gave me a tip. So look out for that, and thanks for watching.
Win. Flawless victory.